Hustle all year, ain't no day off. 25/8, ain't no day off. Hustle all year, ain't no day off. 25/8, ain't no day off.
Loke G o la barrieta, puro raps con la pinche neta. Shit on my name, pero me...
I'm gonna send him your contact.
Alright, cool.
In terms of, just go 1 second.
No problem, bro. We're good.
Yeah, so with the squad, it's based on a true story. They started in 1979. They operated to 2010, and at the time when they started, they went from Houston was the murder capital of the world. It was Detroit and Houston, and of those 800 murders, 300 were Latinos, Spanish speakers. 0 were getting solved because all the white detectives and a couple blacks, they didn't speak Spanish. They didn't care.
Yeah.
And then that Lee Brown became police chief, and they had that female mayor, and they experimented, and here came the Chicano squad. And they got up to where they were solving 80% of the murders cases.
Yeah, because they spoke Spanish and they were in the community.
Yeah, they cared. They were going in there,
Actually doing something about it.
Yeah, and it's like this. I don't sugarcoat it because I studied. A couple of them got caught doing some dirty shit, So I put that in there, but it's not like the main,
It's not the main thing.
It's not
to
the
worry
main
about.
thing, man.
It's just some side notes about the truth.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, they were dealing with a lot of drugs that, at that time, like I talk about in the movie, how much CIs were getting paid. If I turned you in, I was getting, like, let's say I turned you in, I caught you with 50 kilos, I got $5,000 per kilo, So I talk about all that in the movie, just showing everybody, but there is a snitch out. Snitches are getting paid out here, It's more than just, what you think it is. You don't know who the snitch is because someone's a paid informant, and it's not that, they just got caught. They're making money to turn you in. The motive is crazy.
Right.
So I think I'm the first person to really show how deep that game is. I got the room set up. They got all the CIs, and each detective's talking about how they work with their CIs and they give them their information.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start off real quick before we get too deep into this. AKM Publishing, The Plug Magazine. I'm Loke G. We got a special guest here with us today. Director Juan Carlos Vazquez?
Nah, man, just Juan C Vazquez.
Just Juan C.
Just
Vazquez.
Juan C Vazquez.
Okay.
My first mentor is the first Mexican American filmmaker, and the C was actually the symbol for God for the Mayans. So that's really the deepness of the C.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm following you. I like that, man. That's very spiritual, very creative. So I just want to start at the beginning. Can you tell me who you are?
Yeah, so I'm a writer, director, actor, producer, entrepreneur. I do music too now. I got a band called DWV Music, Drug War Veteran Music, because I grew up pretty much in the 80s, war on drugs. That's that climate that I grew up in. So a lot of my stories, that's where I kind of cultivated from that. And then favorite directors, I liked a lot of the gangster films, so I tapped into that with my movies. But then like you saw Through the Valley, I try to put a message into my films as well.
Right.
Well, yeah, I grew up in the Midwest. I was actually born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
My dad was a Green Beret, Purple Heart Vietnam vet, played the congos in a salsa band, so that's where I get a lot of it from. My mother is a published author, super nice lady, opposite of me. And then after college, I graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Okay.
And then I moved down to Texas. I tried San Antonio, it just wasn't for me, and then I moved to Houston, and it just fit me like a glove, So I've been here. I got here in 2004, and by 2005, I was doing my first film, Through the Valley.
Okay.
So and then by 2007, it took a while to get the money, everything. But we were already casting, moving. I mean, it was great, man. I wish I could make a movie about that era and how we made that movie. It was so much fun.
I'm sure you will at some point, man, when it's all said and done, and you sit back to reflect, really.
Yeah. Because when you're doing it, you don't have time, and you finally get that chip off your shoulder, and you feel more comfortable. Oh, that wasn't that bad. You talk about it more. But I ended up getting Danny Trejo in that movie before he did Machete. So that was that was like one of the first times you see him on the cover. We're really championing him. Noel G, Training Day, Fast and the Furious,
right?
And then just gang of Houston celebrities.
Definitely, yeah. I did see Through the Valley. Which I saw. I was just trying to find all the cameos that I could find, a bunch of celebrities in there, like you mentioned. So this was back in 2008.
So we started casting, talking, about doing it. 2005, 2006, we were starting to get into filming. 2007 it was on, and then we added a couple more cameos in 2008. But I want to say we shot the scenes with Danny Trejo in 2007.
Gotcha.
And then it came out nationwide, Blockbuster, you know, Hollywood Video, Walmart. I was the first filmmaker, you know, in Texas on Netflix. They were sending out my DVDs to you back then.
Wow.
Hustle all year, ain't no day off. 25/8, ain't no day off. Hustle all year, ain't